How's it going, Dopamon fans? Free agency has cooled off, and now the big topic are RFAs, mainly Matthew Tkachuk of the Calgary Flames. Confirmed already is that Tkachuk is unwilling to sign long-term with Calgary, so they want to move him. And according to Ryan Pike from Flames Nation and Eric Francis from Sportsnet, the asking price is confirmed to be a top forward, obviously to replace the loss of both Tkachuk and Gaudreau, a premium prospect, emphasis on premium, and a first-round pick. This would be the biggest trade since Jack Eichel, which was the biggest trade since Erik Karlsson. These types of deals where players of this caliber are available don't happen often, so there's a lot of hype. Now, according to The Athletic, Tkachuk has supplied them with a list of teams with whom he would agree to a long-term contract with, according to multiple sources. But, also according to Eric Francis from Sportsnet, that list is inaccurate. So I feel like there's no way to know for sure which teams are really in on his list, and there's an extra level of speculation because Tkachuk does not have a no movement clause. Calgary can really trade his signing rights anywhere they want. Maybe a team is willing to give up a lot even just to sign him for a 1 or 2 year deal. It's possible that Tkachuk wouldn't mind even signing a short-term deal so he can get to unrestricted free agency sooner and really decide his own fate. So while there's this huge focus on his list, they aren't really solid compared to a player that actually has a no movement clause. Also, the date for his arbitration hearing hasn't been set yet. The period for arbitration is from July 27th to August 8th, so it's very possible that we're waiting a few weeks before a trade or signing is even announced. There's lots of pressure by the media right now, but it's really best for all parties involved in the trade to wait and not be hasty. But where there's smoke, there's fire. So I want to talk about some teams I've seen involved in a trade for him, list or not. And I'm going to start with the most obvious candidate, the St. Louis Blues. There are lots of options here with younger talent like Jordan Kyrou and Jake Neighbors, and also older talent like Vladimir Tarasenko and Pavel Buchnevich, potentially available here. But the most common trade I've seen is Kyrou, Neighbors, and a first. That's the top forward, the premium prospect, and first round pick. I can see Blues fans maybe arguing it's a bit too much. Maybe there are small pieces and cap dumps to be worked out, but that's just the framework from what I've seen. And if Tkachuk does bring exactly what he's supposed to, that price tag is absolutely worth bringing Tkachuk back to St. Louis. The next team I want to do is New Jersey, who I feel like we're in on Gaudreau, so I think it's only fitting that they make a move for Tkachuk as well. They're clearly in a position where they're trying to add now, and they also can't come to terms with their own RFA, Jesper Bratt, who I think could be a solid starting point for the trade as that top forward. They also have lots of young prospects with various talent levels like Simon Nemec, Alexander Holtz, Nolan Foote, Chase Stillman, that give them a lot of options to come to a deal with Calgary. Depending on the prospect, obviously that first might become a second, or maybe two mid prospects like Foote and Stillman, but either way I think it fits the forward prospect pick return that Calgary expects. And the next team I've seen lots of reports around are the New York Rangers. I think Tkachuk would be a really good fit, though I think of all the teams that I've listed so far, they already have the best roster and might be less willing to shake things up too much. That being said, I think a trade could absolutely work, as New York has the pieces. Main starting point for that top forward could be Philip Hedl or Kaapo Kakko, and the prospect either Brennan Othmann or Braden Schneider. Nashville's a team I've heard less rumors about, though I think the fit is there, especially considering they're silently trying to build a better roster. The problem for them is that I don't know what Nashville is willing to offer other than draft picks. I think their prospect pool is a bit smaller, so they're more likely to hold on to guys rather than package them away. They also don't have any cap space, especially after just signing Nino Niederreiter, so I think that kind of fills a spot for them on the roster right now. now. But they do have a few options in prospects like Joachim Kemmel and Zachary Leroux. Maybe a prospect, a project like Cody Glass, I can see maybe being an option, but really I don't think the trade here happens at all. Another team I don't hear enough about is Dallas. I think he'd be a perfect fit there as well. And unlike Nashville, I think they do have the pieces to make a deal work. I don't know who on Dallas is untouchable, but they have superstar level talent in Rupe Hintz and current RFA Jason Robertson. Also guys like Denis Gurianov and Ty Dellandrea could have formed the frameworks of this trade. The next two teams I think are way less likely, but there's always hype around them. And the first is the Toronto Maple Leafs. Of course, the Leafs hate William Nylander right now and want him out while simultaneously believing he has the value for Matthew Tkachuk. Truth is, he's a very skilled forward on a very good contract, but you're not going to get consistent defense or superstar qualities from him. Ever, really. As far as premium prospects, Toronto has a bunch in Nick Robertson, Matthew Knies, Topi Niemela, or even RFA Rasmus Sandin that's unhappy with the ice time and his role that he has with the Leafs right now, so I definitely think that there are a few options for Calgary. And I saved the best for last. That's why I have the jersey on, the Ottawa Senators. What a dream it would be to get both Tkachuks on the same line, but I don't think it's going to happen for Ottawa. They already made their move for Alex DeBrincat, who brings exactly the type of offense that they needed. They don't need two Tkachuks, they need a Tkachuk and a DeBrincat. Though they do have the pieces for a trade, so I feel like what Ottawa has to offer, though, can still be outmatched by other teams. I want to make a mock trade anyway. That top forward being Alex Formenton, and the premium prospect being Shane Pinto. Ottawa does have some other prospects in Tyler Boucher, Roby Arventi, Ridley Gregg, but I don't think they carry the trade value needed for a Tkachuk trade. I also think that Ottawa's defensive prospects like Jake Sanderson, Lassie Thompson, and Jacob Bernard-Docker are simply untouchable for Ottawa right now as they kind of try to put their D-core together. So I don't really think it's going to happen. It would be great to see the Tkachuks play together, but really maybe just on the international level one day. But that does bring me to a trade I think can happen between Ottawa and Calgary. Alex Formenton, that piece I mentioned before, for defenseman Chris Tanev. I think Formenton carries more value, so maybe a pick or mid-tier prospect comes the other way, but I really feel like Ottawa would be willing to slightly overpay right now to get a solid defensive defenseman to really round out their top four. Another big topic of discussion are Americans leaving Canadian markets, which I don't think is a real trend. In Ottawa, they just re-signed Josh Norris, and Alex DeBrincat seems really happy to be there. In Vancouver, they just re-signed Brock Besser, and in Edmonton, they just signed Jack Campbell. I feel, and they're all to long-term deals, so, they're all happy to stay there for a long time. I feel like it's really just more of a brief Calgary phenomenon. I know media wants to, point at Toronto and worry about American player Austin Matthews wanting out after his contract, especially with the Leafs' lack of success in the playoffs, but I don't think there's anything there to worry about. So, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave your trade proposals in the comments down below. I want to know what you think Tkachuk is worth, which team he's going to. Let me know what you guys think down below. We're Dopamon, my best friend, and I talk hockey news, analysis, mock drafts, and scouting reports, and we have a lot of fun stuff planned for the off-season, so leave a like and subscribe to stick around for more dope hockey content. Peace.